What is up, world? My name is Nick. This is Swiftful Thinking, and we are back now in the continued learning playlist. I know I'm jumping around a couple different playlists here, guys, but I don't want to miss things, and I want to pen them in the right order because the stuff we're going to learn now is, I would say, intermediate level. It's not beginner level. It's too advanced for the SwiftUI bootcamp, but it's not super difficult, so it's not for the advanced playlist. We're now in the continued learning playlist. In this playlist so far, we've covered things like drag gestures and the scroll view reader and geometry reader and things like that. And I think the next couple of videos fall right into that bucket. In this video, we're going to look at something called the VisualEffect ViewModifier. And this is realistically not adding anything new to our app. We're going to look at how we could do this without the VisualEffect view as well. But this modifier is really nice. It lets us add modifiers that are similar to using a geometry reader without actually having to use one. You guys are going to see in this video, we're going to talk about how to use a geometry reader again, and then how to use the VisualEffect view. We'll go through a couple quick examples of how to use this in your apps. And I think generally speaking at a high level, this should be one of those things where it's like, hey, let me try VisualEffect view, see if it works. And if it doesn't, I'll fall back to the old way where I use geometry reader or something like that. Because as you're going to see, the VisualEffect view is great and it works, but it doesn't work for everything, because there's very specific view types that we have to work with when we're using this modifier. So we're going to try to use it, and if we can't use it, we're going to have fallback methods. Let's jump into Xcode and check it out. All right, welcome back, everybody. Continue learning project here. The last thing we covered was alignment guides. And we got a couple more videos for this playlist, a lot of good ones here. First, we're going to look at VisualEffect. So it's a new modifier that I believe is iOS 17 only. And let's play around with it a little bit. So let's right-click the navigator, create a new file, SwiftUI view. Let's call it VisualEffect Bootcamp. Let's get this simulator working here. And I'm going to go through first a very simple example, then a little more complex example, then we'll wrap up. Try to keep this one quick as well. So let's just say we have this text on the screen and we wanted to perform some operation if the frame of this text was a certain size. So if the frame of this text was bigger than maybe, let's say 200 pixels, then maybe we want to do something to the object. So let's give this like a background and we'll give it maybe color.red. Add some padding. And we don't know what the frame of this is. If I go in here and make a frame of, let's say, a width of 200, we have the cell on the screen that has 200 pixels. And then maybe I add a modifier here that's something like, maybe we'll do like a grayscale, just for an example's sake. What I'm going to say here is basically a grayscale of 1. So if it is the width 200 or greater, we have black and white. If it is under 200, then we want no grayscale, so keep it in color. That's just the example we're going to play with here. So prior to VisualEffect, if we wanted to get the size of this object, we would wrap it in a geometry reader. If you followed this playlist, which I hope you have, I did a whole bootcamp on geometry reader, and you should go review that if you forgot about it. But basically, a geometry reader is a closure that wraps your current view, and then we get the geometry, which is basically the frame of the object in that view. But the geometry reader, as you guys probably already know, is a little difficult to use, and there are some performance impacts if you put too many of them on the screen. So for example, let's go ahead and wrap this in a geometry reader. So I'm going to cut this, add a geometry reader. We get the proxy here, paste in my view, and then I'm going to take the frame and I will put it outside of the reader. And we'll add some padding outside of the geometry reader just so that it's off the edge of the device. So a couple problems with geometry reader right off the bat. Firstly is the geometry reader has like a max width by default. So if I add a background here of, let's do color.green, and I don't include a frame here, we can see that the geometry reader, the size of the geometry reader is actually this entire green area. So by just rendering this, the geometry we're going to get back is the whole green area. And we can prove that by putting it on the text here. So let's just say the geometry.size.width So the width of this is 361 pixels, when clearly this text is not 361 pixels. If I make this frame 100, we can see that the width jumps down to 100. All right, so first problem is that Geometry Reader is a little tricky to use. And then secondly is that the geometry it's giving us is the geometry for the Geometry Reader itself, the frame of this object here, when really we just want the frame of this object here. And so a really nice update in iOS 17 is the VisualEffect modifier. And basically, it's going to wrap this object in a Geometry Reader and return us the geometry without us having to do it ourselves. So what I'm going to do is basically just delete the Geometry Reader. Let's just revert back to our code that we had. I'm going to put back hello world. And now what we're going to do is let's remove the grayscale from here. And I'm going to add a very simple visual effect. In a visual effect, I click enter. It's going to return us two things, the content and a geometry proxy. So this geometry proxy is the same thing that we were getting from the Geometry Reader. So this geometry term here, we're now getting it by default in the visual effect closure. So I'm just going to call this maybe geometry instead of geometry proxy. All right. Now this closure needs us to return the content with visual effects. If I hold the option button and click on content, we can see that it is a empty visual effect type. So this is not just any content. This is a specific visual effect related content. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because we can only apply visual effect modifiers to this content. I wish it was everything, but right now it is only visual effect modifiers. What does that mean? Firstly, let's get rid of this warning about iOS 17. Let's do an @available iOS 17 asterisk. And can we apply it to the preview as well? All right. First error is gone. Now we are returning our content. Clearly nothing is happening. But the reason I wanted to point this out that this is a empty visual effect is because there's modifiers such as like frame that we actually can't apply to this type. Or if we want to do foreground color, nothing actually compiles. And that's because this is not just a view, this is a special visual effect type. What we can do is apply visual effects. So these are things like blur, brightness, color effect, contrast, distortion, grayscale, hue rotation. We can do offsets, opacities, rotations, 3D rotations, scale effects, saturations, transforms. So most of the modifiers that we would use a Geometry Reader for, we can do here. There's a couple that we can't, like frame and foreground color, but for now, this covers a lot of our bases. So for example, what I'm going to do is use this Geometry Reader, and we're going to say here let's do maybe the grayscale again. And we'll say if the geometry.size.width is greater than or equal to 200, 1, otherwise 0. And now this closure is automatically returning us the geometry of that object. I don't know technically if it's actually putting it in a Geometry Reader, but it is returning us the actual geometry that we would get from a Geometry Reader. There's probably a more efficient way to do it under the hood, which is probably why this is a modifier. Anyway, right now it is red, so clearly the grayscale is not applied. It's less than 200. But if I make this bigger, it should be greater than 200 and our view goes to black and white. All right, so what have we learned? We've learned that we can add a visual effect to try to get the geometry of this content. This can be applied for most cases, but not all modifiers, because this is a special type that returns us back. And so the gist of this video is if you're using a Geometry Reader and you are only applying visual effects like this, then use the visual effect and not a Geometry Reader, because this is going to be more performant and it's also much easier to work with. And so now we know how it works. One other thing I want to point out is this is the geometry proxy, right? So we can get the size of this object. We can also get the location of this object within the device. So I can say here instead .grayscale, and we can access maybe the geometry dot. So we were using the size before, but we can also access the frame for the object. So the frame in either a custom coordinate space or the global coordinate space. Most of the time I'm using global here. And so this is going to get the frame in the entire device, the entire global coordinate space. And let's access, maybe we can access the size, the width, the height, and the coordinates. So the X and Y coordinates of this item. So let's see here, maybe if the dot min Y is less than 300, 1, otherwise 0. All right, so the min Y of less than 300, meaning the top of it is less than 300 pixels from the top of the device. Clearly it's not. That's why it's not grayscale right now. But if I put this in some sort of V stack, and then I push it to the top of the screen, well, the frame is now all the way at the top. The minimum Y is less than 300, and this is applied. A couple things I want to point out is that this by default does not have animation. So if you want to make it animated, you're going to have to add modifiers outside or at a parent level to the visual effect. So maybe somewhere like here, we would add .animation. And then we can toggle it. Let's just say maybe at state private var show spacer of type bool equals false. Let's animate ease in of show spacer, and we'll say if show spacer, add the spacer onto the screen here. Let's just add a quick on tap gesture and then show spacer dot toggle. So by default, if we don't have the animation, if I comment it out and I click on this, it pops up. The geometry, the grayscale here is not animating. It's going to just jump. If I add the animation outside of the visual effect, it will then work perfectly. So a little bit trickier to actually apply the animation, but ultimately I think this is going to be more performant than using the geometry reader itself. Let's wrap up the video with one more quick example of basically doing this in a scroll view, because it's probably one of the more common use cases. So what I'm going to do is actually just comment all of this out. Let's comment out this as well. And we're going to do a scroll view here. Let's open up the brackets. Inside the scroll view, we'll do a for each. Let's actually add a V stack spacing of maybe 30. And we'll do a for each for 0 to less than 100. For each index in this loop, we're going to put a rectangle on the screen. And let's give it a frame with maybe a width of 300, a height of 200. And let's add another frame here with a max width of infinity and a background here of color.orange, just so that we can see the background of the cells. Awesome. And now let's add our .VisualEffect modifier. We're going to return the content as is. And then let's just do, for example's sake, a .offset. And we will say the offset the X, and we will look for the geometry. I'm just going to call this geometry. Geometry dot frame in the global coordinate system. Let's look for the .min Y, and let's multiply it times 0.5. Or sorry, let's do 0.05. All right, so if the min Y is lower up here, the offset will be a low number times 0.05. Or if it's down here at the bottom of the screen, the offset should be bigger. So it's a higher number times 0.05. So as I scroll, we get this nice kind of offset on the cells in the scroll view. I can exaggerate it a little bit. Let's do 0.5. We can see it better. And you'll notice here how smooth this is. This, for me, at least this feels like it's much more performant than using a geometry reader on each of these cells. I do not know what the difference is under the hood, but this feels like it is much smoother just in general. Now you'll notice here that these cells don't have any animation on them. And I think that's probably part of the trick to getting this to work so well, is that we're not actually animating the offset of these cells. They're just immediately updating as the cells are rendering in this scroll view. So I don't know what the difference is under the hood here, but I think generally speaking, if you're using geometry readers, try to use a visual effect instead, because it's probably going to be a little bit more performant. There are caveats and limitations of the visual effect, like we can't add a foreground color, we can't fix the frame of this, but we can apply a lot of the modifiers that we would need for the geometry reader. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Again, this is iOS 17 only, and the gist of it is if you're using a geometry reader, try to use visual effect instead if you can. You might not be able to, but if you can, this is probably a better bet for your code base. Thank you guys for watching. As always, my name is Nick. This is Swiftful Thinking, and I'll see you in the next video.